doing today? My name is Anthony Bonato. I'm a professor, also an author. I'm at Toronto Metropolitan University. Maybe you can't hear me. Can you hear me better now? Yeah, great. So thank you all for coming, all of our in-person attendees. We also have a number of people attending remotely, so hello to all of you. So like I said, I'm Anthony Bonato. I'm going to be sort of managing a lot of this event. Like we said, we did it very quickly and with not a lot of support. So Fields provided an enormous amount of support, but last minute support. So we're going to do our best. We're going to make this work, and we're excited to have everybody here. So where this event came from, I was on a podcast with Autumn Phaneuf at Breaking Math, and also she had a podcast with Noah Gian-Siracusa. And we were talking, and we wanted to do something after the podcast. We had a lot of energy afterwards, and I put out the idea of creating an event. And we didn't know where it would be. Eventually, we landed at the Fields Institute, and the Fields Institute was very gracious enough to have us. We were very happy that you did. And the idea behind the event is to bring together authors and creators to talk about stories related to mathematics, but also talk about their craft and how they build the stories that sort of feed into their work with the general public and so on. So before I go on, I'm going to introduce Patrick Ingram, who is the Deputy Director of the Fields Institute, and he's going to say a few words. Let's go ahead, Patrick.
I'm going to grab this microphone. It's already on. Great. So welcome. As Anthony mentioned, I'm Patrick Ingram. I'm the Deputy Director of the Fields Institute. And we normally give an introduction to every workshop, but because you already have an introduction and I sort of invited myself to give an introduction, I want to keep it kind of brief. So many of you are familiar with the Fields Institute. For those of you who are not, we're obviously a mathematics institute, and we try to get people together in an inclusive and accessible setting in the service of mathematics, which sometimes means research mathematics, sometimes it means outreach, sometimes it means communication of mathematics to a broader audience. Those are all activities that we support. And our goal is sort of open discourse and communication of ideas. So we try to keep things open, and we invite everyone to be sort of open to different points of view and discussion. Actually, in general, when it comes to accessibility and inclusion, I want to mention two quick things. One is the microphone. So I'm using a microphone right now. In smaller events like this, it's easy to forget about the microphones when asking questions and so on. But part of the whole accessibility, et cetera, is we have people online. And so for their benefit, of course, it's great if everyone can use the microphone. We also sometimes use the microphones for closed captioning for people who have hearing impairments or something. So we like to remind everyone it's easy to forget in an event like this to use the microphones when asking questions and so on. Also, if anything at any Fields Institute event makes you uncomfortable in any way or seems to not be conducive to an inclusive environment, we do have an anonymous reporting system. In our slides, we show a QR code, but of course, actually at the time of showing the slides, the QR code is not that useful anyway. So you can always find that on our website under resources. There's an anonymous reporting portal or form. Emergency exits. So if there's a fire, which is very unlikely, please leave to the left. And that's the quickest way out, outside to the left through the back door. I also should mention our sponsors. So nothing happens at the Fields without the sponsorship of various organizations, but most notably the province of Ontario, NSERC, the NSF in the United States. And we also have funding and support from 9 principal sponsoring universities and various affiliate universities. So we appreciate all of their support. And then the final slide in the normal slide deck says to enjoy your time at Fields and work hard. But I will not encourage you to work hard necessarily because it's a Saturday. And so we'll just enjoy the event. We'll focus on the enjoying part and maybe not so much on the hard work. And I'll turn it back over to Anthony, who will go through your introduction and introduce the first speaker. It's great.
All right, thanks so much. Thank you, Patrick. So I guess I want to do a land acknowledgement first, very important. So we wish to acknowledge the land that we are on, which is University of Toronto, where the Fields Institute is. And for thousands of years, it's been traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and most recently, the Mississaugas of Credit River. So today, this meeting place is still the home to many Indigenous peoples across Turtle Island, and we want to be aware of that and grateful as we do our work. So a little bit of an outline of what we're going to do today, sort of a discussion of the different parts. So what we're going to do first is we're going to have a talk coming up very briefly, very soon, by Paulina on maps and maths. And then I'll be giving a talk. We'll have a short coffee break, and coffee will be served outside at the island, right near the kitchen area. So please help yourself to that. And then we have 2 fireside chats that Autumn will be doing. First one with Noah, and I should mention, I didn't say it in my first remarks that Autumn and Noah are co-organizers of this, so they've been incredibly helpful in making this happen. And the second fireside chat is with Eugenia Cheng. Very much looking forward to that. We have another coffee break, and then there is a panel which I'll be moderating. And we have 3 of the speakers here. So we have Kind Santos, Patchen Bars, and Siobhan Roberts. They're going to share some of their craft with us. We're very excited to have you stay with us for that whole period of time. We should finish about 5:20, 5:30 approximately, depending on how many questions we get and the breaks that we have. Also, there will be a break between the 2 fireside chats of about 5 minutes, just to let you know. We are not having questions on Zoom chat. So for those of you who are remote, just be aware of that. You cannot put questions into Zoom chat for sort of obvious reasons. But what we did was we have a URL, a short URL that you can use. It's a Google form. So for the people who are attending online, wherever you are, whatever camera I'm looking at, you can use this link here. Okay, so you take a screenshot of that. Be aware of that. You can put your questions on that. And one of myself or Autumn or Noah will be able to see those questions and can, respond and relay those questions to the rest of the audience.